Welcome back. We're doing team previews. First team, Arizona Cardinals. It starts with Kyler Murray, and you're probably not getting him in any formats anymore because he's QB3 in all the drafts he's been going in, and in Dynasty he's basically untouchable in 2 QB formats. 1 QB formats you might be able to get him, but people are so high on him right now. It's really impossible to get fair value in buying him. He was ninth in deep ball attempts last year, which you love from a rookie, despite only being 21st in passing touchdowns. That's likely to even itself out if he keeps throwing the ball deep. The obvious rushing upside is there, over 500 yards last year. Uh, that's probably going to stay the same. You don't really think he's going to improve on it. I don't think Kingsbury wants him running all that much, seeing his stature. Uh, got some new weapons. DeAndre Hopkins. Some slight concerns with Hopkins early. Shortened preseason and no training camp. There might be some chemistry issues and timing issues earlier in the year. But you got to think that they worked that stuff out during the year. They're two talented players. Uh, he sees Jalen Ramsey twice a year again. Ramsey moved out of his division earlier in the season prior, but DeAndre Hopkins gets to face him 2 times a year again. But if you're fading Hopkins because of that, that's a little short-sighted. He's the same baller. I mean, yeah, it's a lock that he's a 1,000-yard receiver. Uh, he plays through injuries and still balls out. The defense is still suspect. He's gonna have a ton of opportunity, and as long as Kyler throws it in the same time zone as DeAndre Hopkins, he's gonna come down with it. So, I still think DeAndre Hopkins is a smash wide receiver one. Moving on to the running back position, the community's been sharp on Kenyon Drake. He obviously smashed towards the end of the year, and that's still in our minds. Uh, I don't think Kenyon Drake is all that special as a talent. I think whoever lines up next to Kyler Murray in that offense is going to smash no matter what. I mean, David Johnson, who left a bad taste in our mouth last year, the first 6 games of the season, 5 of his 6 games were over 18 fantasy points in PPR formats. And obviously, Kenyon Drake smashed towards the end of the year last year. And Chase Edmonds had his week where he had a 30-plus point week, too. So, whoever lines up you want to play that week, don't sleep on Edmonds and stash Benjamin in all dynasty formats, please. Uh, Moving on to someone the community has not been as sharp on regarding the Cardinals' weapons, it's Christian Kirk. He's still, I mean, he's not in the double-digit rounds yet, but he's close enough there where it's just ridiculous to me how he's not being valued like the other Cardinals weapons. I mean, Calvin Ridley is a consensus 3rd round pick in drafts recently, and how he is that high in Kirk is not even in the same vicinity as him. Just really blows my mind. He gets to line up next to DeAndre Hopkins. He's been playing with Kyler Murray since college. Low A dot. Whatever. Give me all the Christian Kirk you can get. Bye, bye, bye. So who's left? Well, if we had a good read on the wide receiver 3, it could bring value. I mean, does Larry Fitz bring that much to the table anymore besides his knowledge? I mean, yeah, obviously he's got the best hands, maybe all time. But, I mean, Andy Isabella has juice. He showed it last year in a couple plays. You just hope he sees more snaps and Isabella gets used to NFL defenses more as he continues to make his transition to the NFL. Dan Arnold, Max Williams, there's not a lot to love at the tight end position for the Cardinals, except one guy who I just learned his name today and has a 92nd percentile speed score at the tight end position, Darrell Daniels. Sleeper has him listed as the 3rd tight end on the Cardinals roster, and this is not a promotion for him to be rostered in any format, but just keep an ear out or an eye out for whispers of Darnell Daniels making plays in training camp or the preseason if we ever have it. So to wrap this up, the Cardinals have a fast-moving offense. They're going to be moving up and down the field with relative ease. And the fantasy community is pretty sharp on them because their ADPs are being so inflated right now. Except for Christian Kirk. Just buy Christian Kirk, please. That's all I'm asking. Buy Christian Kirk.